This is the kind of property that you can buy in Whistler for around the $1 million mark. Want to know what else you can get for your family for around that amount of money or less? Well, sit down, grab a cup of coffee, let's dig in, and I'll show you exactly what we can come up with. Hey there, Dean Linnell here with the Linnell Group at the Whistler Real Estate Company. And today what I wanted to do is just kind of run you through what property types and what properties are currently on the market as of May 5th, 2025 here in the spring in Whistler. Now, you have to understand a couple of things here just before we dive in. And this is sort of the back end of our listing system here. You're looking at sort of the realtor facing side of the Whistler listing system. Okay. Now, when you're looking at properties that are under $1 million, you're basically into a couple of different types. Now, what I'm going to keep out of the mix today is timeshares and by extension, quarter shares. Now, quarter shares are not a timeshare, but you do only get, it's a shared ownership situation. You only get 1 week out of every 4. So, if you see anything that just looks absolutely too good to be true, a lot of the time it's a quarter share. So if you see a 1-bedroom like in a building called the Legends that you'd think would be $1 million and it's only $280,000, that's a quarter share. Okay, so we're just going to keep that out of the mix. Now, if we look at other things here, if you look at properties that you want to do maybe Airbnb on, do nightly rentals, or even just live in and move up to Whistler, or even just have as, sort of a weekend place, and maybe you never rent it and it's just your place for the weekend, and you're looking for something at around $1 million or under $1 million, you're only into a couple of different things, okay? So I'm just going to let you know what those are. So right now, on this list here, you would start off for a 1-bedroom that you can do Airbnb on for about $695,000. You could be into a Gondola Village property. Now, Gondola Village, you can see here, Gondola Village is down in Whistler Creekside, and it's really actually only a few minutes walk up the sidewalk over to going over to Whistler Creekside and getting up the Whistler Creekside gondola. But this would be kind of your starting point, a Gondola Village unit. These are going to have a bedroom. You're going to have a small kitchenette, as you can see here. Some of them have a little lofted space for a little extra sleeping. But that's kind of what you're into. These were built in the early 80s. All right. Now we won't dwell too long on that, but we're going to move on to the next thing here. And I've ranked this all by price. Okay. So we're going to move over to Market Pavilion. Now, Market Pavilion, you could buy a studio in Whistler Village. Okay. Now, Market Pavilion is this one was priced at $799. They just dropped the price to $699, 460 square feet. Okay, but it's a studio, not a 1-bedroom. And what you're going to see here, that it's on Main Street, which is just outside of my office right here, and it's in the zone where the Fresh Street Market is, the liquor store, TD Bank, McDonald's. It's all by Celebration Plaza with the Olympic rings there. So you can see that there is a full kitchen on this one, but it's a studio where it's going to just sleep 2 on that Murphy bed that comes out of the wall, but you will get a full kitchen out of it. So that's where you're at there. Those would rent pretty good. Now we're going to just go back to our single line display here. You've got some other Gondola Village units you could do for $700,000. There's another set of studios you could probably do at Marketplace Lodge. This one just came on the market at Marketplace Lodge for $699, another studio. And Marketplace Lodge is where the Rexall is and the BC liquor store right here. So it's a good location. Good location, nice and central, a little further from the lifts. Be a bit of a walk through the village in your ski boots, but no big deal. But you can see here, this one has had some renos done, and it's facing overlooking the parking lot here. And you can see Fresh Street Market is right here. And that's actually where Whistler, where Market Pavilion is. That's the other building that we had just shown you. So let's go back through here and take a look at some other things. So if we want to step up into more of a 1-bedroom, so you've got almost $800,000 here for a Powder View unit. And Powder View, but that's at Creekside for just a shy of $800,000. You could do Whistler Creek Lodge. There's some studio units for sale right now at Whistler Creek Lodge. So again, Whistler Creekside. So you're well under under $1 million for something like this. And this is where Creek Bread is. Creek Bread is the pizza place down at Whistler Creekside. Awesome pizza there. So there's that. Now let's move towards something else we can look at. So now we've got a 2-bedroom here at Alpine House. Now this is something that's not zoned for nightly rentals. It's only been on the market for 24 days right now, but it's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and these guys were built in 1974, but these are not zoned for nightly rentals, and they're actually located at in Alpine Meadows, which is north of Whistler Village. It's certainly not walking distance, but the bus runs, every 20 minutes right outside the door and takes you right down to the lift. Okay, so that's Alpine House. Now let's move over to some other options here. We're going to just go back to our single line display here quickly. I'm going to show you something else. So if you wanted to be maybe down at the base of Blackcomb, we've got something over at Glacier Lodge. Now if you're aware of Glacier Lodge here, that's going to be right at the base of Blackcomb and next door to the Fairmont Chateau Whistler. So you can see Glacier Lodge here. This is a studio in that building. So you're not going to be in a 1-bedroom for that kind of money. You're probably going to be pressing into the $1 million, $1.2 million range for a 1-bedroom right at the base of Blackcomb. But this is a phase 1 property where you can do nightly rentals. You can do Airbnb, and you're not basically in a hotel type of a property. So this is a studio. This is going to pull out, and you've got that Murphy bed that comes out of the wall there too. And you do have a full kitchen on this one, and some renovations as well. So this kitchen was renovated, the bathroom was renovated. It's quite a nice unit here. So now let's go over to let's go take a look at a couple of other options. Here's a 1-bedroom right now that's for sale. Rob Boyd has got this one on the market. It's in Alta Vista. Okay, now you can't do nightly rentals on these. These are going to be residential only, but you are getting into a proper 1-bedroom for $900,000. Okay, and that's about the going rate on a proper 1-bedroom. That's going to be just a little closer to the village as opposed to being down at Creekside in something older like I showed you with Gondola Village. But this one's been renovated. This is actually a really great unit. I was actually in this one today on our Realtor tour. The one drawback with this complex is that it kind of looks like a motel on the outside, and there's not a ton of storage for bikes and so forth. You would really only have storage just out on your deck there. But this is a good one here. Yeah, there is actually a little bit of storage. You do have a bit of a cubby here. Each unit's got that as well. So now let's just shift back over, give you a couple more options. Now, if we're going to push a little closer to $1 million, you can get into a 1-bedroom at Blackcomb. And let's take a look at Marquise here. So right now, we do have 211 Marquise for $938,000. It was $985,000. Price has dropped, and this is at Blackcomb Benchlands. And I affectionately call this Marquise building Poor Man's Aspens, and the Aspens is right across the street, and it's ski in, ski out. But you're going to be spending a couple $100,000 more for a 1-bedroom at the Aspens, and the Marquise is just right across the street from the Aspens. You just walk across the road, walk down this little pathway, and you're right on the ski slope. So it's only maybe a 2-minute walk further than if you just owned for a couple $100,000 more at the Aspens. But this is a concrete constructed building. You've got a heated outdoor pool year round. You've got a hot tub that's underneath this big igloo dome, which is actually pretty sweet. And then this is, a unit that has not been renovated other than maybe flooring here. You can see that in these photos. If you look at the kitchen, you can see that's an original kitchen from when these were built. I think in 1989 is when this building was constructed. But the building itself is all concrete. So it's actually one of the only fully concrete constructed buildings over at Blackcomb Benchlands. I think probably the wood run is also concrete as well. So yeah, there you go with that. Now let's just give you maybe one or two other options to take a look at. If you were into, let's just go up the chain in terms of pricing here. And I did pull some other options here. So if you wanted to be, there's a couple of units over at Lake Placid Lodge for around $1 million or just a hair above $1 million. And Lake Placid Lodge is right at the base of Blackcomb. At the base of Whistler Creekside. And this is one of the first buildings down at Whistler Creekside. And it's really quite a nice building. Has been renovated on the exterior a few years ago. Really completely redone. They redid the pool. So you have a heated outdoor pool. You've got a hot tub outside as well, and lots of space to roam. And then this one, this is, I think this reno is probably a good 10, 15 years old, but still certainly relevant. Got the flooring there. They've done the kitchen, and then they've done a bunch of built-ins here too. And this one is on the Lake Placid Drive street side, so it's going to be facing the shops at Whistler Creekside. But you're right at the base of Whistler Creekside. You'd never have to hop on a bus unless you maybe wanted to go into the village for some partying late at night. But you've got the Creekside shops right there, and liquor store and grocery store, and skiing's right outside your door. Very, very quick walk over to the gondola. So those are some of the options for you for $1 million or under. Now, if we're going to take a look at anything above $1 million, you're starting to get into 2 bedrooms. Okay, so if you want a nightly rentable 2-bedroom, you definitely have to be in. Oh, hello, balloons. If you want to be in a 2-bedroom that's nightly rentable in Whistler Village or up at Blackcomb, you're going to be pushing into the $1 million, $4 million, $5 million, $6 and beyond zone. So there you go. If you have any questions about these or any other properties you're seeing out there, you want to talk about what would suit you and your family, certainly reach out to me anytime. I've been a realtor here in Whistler for 25 years. So you got the right guy. We'll talk to you soon. I've helped over 1,000 buyers and sellers in the Whistler real estate market over the last 25 years. So I hope some of my market knowledge in this video has helped you too. If there's any questions you have at all, throw them in the comments below. I personally read and answer every one of them right away. Don't forget about that Calendly link down there too if you want to book a discovery call with me. I'll catch you in the next video.